Is anybody interested in vice chair? Is Mark,
I am.
you interested in vice chair? Okay. Nika, you're not interested in it. Okay, good.
You see?
You're not interested in the vice chair?
I am not.
Good.
I'm interested in the vice
Okay.
chair.
I am
Better
not.
shut those cameras off.
And it's
real
gonna,
quick.
it's
All right.
it's easy.
So what am I doing here? I'm going over here?
Yes.
Okey doke.
I will move to that side over there once, okay, we are ready. Can you, we all set? Okay. Good evening. This is the first meeting of the Housing Committee for the year 2014. Why don't we stand up to salute the flag? And I would like to ask Councilor Sandy Almonte to do us the honor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first order of business is to elect the chair of the committee and the vice chair, and we will move ahead and do that. So I would like to entertain a motion to open nominations.
I so move.
The motion has been made and properly second. We are open, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
I move.
Nominations?
Yes, I move that, to nominate Councilor Mark LaPlante for Chair of the House.
The motion,
Second.
motion has been made to nominate Mark LaPlante, and it has been properly second. Any other nominations? If there is none, can I have a motion to close nomination?
So moved?
Second?
And-
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let's take a vote on, well, there is actually no votes needed because there are no contenders, so congratulations, Mark. I will move to the side and give you the gavel so that you can continue with the election of the vice chair.
Don't get too comfortable, because we won't be here till very long.
Okay.
Thank you, Council President, thank you, councilors, and I do appreciate your confidence in me, and I do suspect that we're going to really have a very vibrant 2 years coming up on this committee. I know that Councilor Maldonado has a lot of interest in this committee, and he has already expressed some interest in moving on some very important issues, and I know all of us have our own agendas as well that I think we're all eager to move throughout. So I just want to say thank you very much for that. I know and also the mayor, I've talked to the mayor about many issues as well, and he's got a lot of opinions as to what he'd like to see happen in the city. Some of that stuff's going to come right through here. So I think we're going to be in a very good spot to try to impact policy in the city. So I'm very excited about what the possibilities are for the next 2 years. So hearing that there's no business for tonight's meeting, except
just like
for,
to
is there
nominate-
nominations on, thank you, nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Councilor Sandy Almonte for Vice Chair.
I second that nomination.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll close the nominations. All in favor of Councilor Almonte as a vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Congratulations, Council Vice,
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair. The only other thing that I have on the agenda here is the minutes from the December 9th meeting. I'm not sure if you all had a chance to take a look at it.
Motion to approve?
Motion's been made
Second?
and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. So, the only other thing we need to work on, I know we had a very long discussion the other night, is at some point talk about when we're going to have these meetings. So I know that that's kind of like in flux at this point, but
Yes,
but we as a committee can determine when we want to have that, our meetings. So maybe depending on the weeks, if it's more convenient on the same weeks as the council, we can
I
try to.
was thinking, Mr. Chairman, that if I've been giving this thing a lot of thought because I think it could work for us. And obviously, the only drawback was the fact that Councilor Toomey was not able to make his meetings on Wednesdays. So I was thinking that if we can switch committee meetings, for example, we know that the most active committees are the budget and budget and finance, and the ordinance. So if we put, the ordinance remains the same, but the budget and finance, we can put it on Monday and change the housing committee to Wednesday, and then the personnel to Tuesday.
Personnel is on
And
Tuesday.
and
we
that
can
will
keep
work,
it.
and I think that may work out very well for Roger.
So you would have, this is on the second and fourth weeks of the.
That's
of the year?
correct.
So you would, what would you
It
propose
would be
then?
for the second and fourth week.
Yeah, you would have, Monday night would be what?
Monday night will be the budget and finance,
Okay, Monday, yeah,
okay?
Tuesday would be.
Tuesday would be personnel,
Yeah,
Wednesday would be housing,
yeah.
and Thursday would be ordinance, that will remain the same. So that would be able to, hopefully satisfy Mr. Toomey, because of the Wednesdays. I think that may do it.
Point of clarification.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little confused because I thought we wanted to get all the meetings in
In
the
1
same
week.
week
Oh, yes,
of the council meeting.
That's the idea.
But if you put it on Tuesday,
Oh, it will meet earlier.
they would meet earlier.
Yes,
Okay.
because the personnel
I mean, at like 6?
doesn't have a lot of business.
Are the members in personnel able to meet earlier?
I would be able to meet a little earlier on a Tuesday, depending, though, maybe we would have to switch meeting dates on, like, say, when we are doing appointments.
I mean, there will be times, obviously, when it's gonna require a little more time.
Yes.
The other thought is too, you could also put personnel with their, I mean, I'm not on personnel, so I don't want to make suggestions for other committees, but you put that also on Monday, like they were meeting.
Monday, yes.
They were meeting at 6 to like 7:30 and then having budget and
And
finance,
if they need to
7:30.
extend,
Yeah,
We could
Yeah, I
do
think
so.
that-
I
that-
wouldn't mind at all moving that,
Yeah, Monday.
Mondays?
on, keeping it on a Monday.
Okay, so Monday would be personnel and,
budget and finance,
I'm sorry, personnel,
and budget and
And
finance.
budget and finance.
Then
okay.
Tuesday will be the full council.
Budget, finance. Tuesday, council,
How does that work, though?
Wednesday,
Will the minutes and everything be in on time for the council meeting?
I think we're gonna have to stress that.
How does that, I'm not sure how.
Well, it works in terms that the only one that has the problem is the Monday one, right? The people that meet on Monday.
Or Tuesday, before the meetings.
Yeah, no,
Tuesday before
in
the
this
meeting.
particular case, this will not be this will not be
We
before
have
the meeting.
switched it.
But it's been allowed for, the clerk in the past has allowed to wait for the committees and add.
May I make a recommendation? My only
the
concern
agenda.
is having a meeting prior to the Tuesday meeting.
Yes.
Sometimes it doesn't give enough time to get the packets ready.
Mm-hmm.
We get the packets the week before, and we're not gonna know what's in the packet until the day
Until-
before. So
exactly.
here's a recommendation that I would offer, is that out of all the committees, this committee, the Housing Committee, we deal with RFPs, we deal with things. We don't need to actually act on it the very next day.
That's
We
correct.
could actually push it off, oddly enough, 2 weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, we'd have the meeting, let's say hypothetically, we have a meeting next Tuesday, full city
yes.
council. We would have a housing committee meeting the day before.
Mm-hmm.
But any votes that we take would not be applicable to the next city councilman, but rather the following one.
The following,
And-
which I don't see a problem, like you said.
This is the one committee where, there's no real
Usually not.
time urgency on these kinds of things.
Well, it
The
depends.
personnel, it does, and we'll deal with it as
Some
they
people
along.
come in and say, this is urgent, you have to do it.
You know, I didn't get the sense in the last couple of sessions that we got that many of the things. Possibly because there was some inadequate and incompetent people
Yeah,
working someplace.
and also because at times people have said that they're in link with the state and they need to get it approved so that the state approves something else, that,
The other thought, what if you did it, what Council plans is
Okay,
suggesting?
if we keep housing
On Mondays.
on Monday,
Full council on
coun-
Tuesday.
housing and personnel, right?
Oh, yeah, you could do housing and personnel back to back.
and keep budget and finance on Wednesday.
Well, the other thing I was gonna say is ordinance, if ordinance, you could push it back half an hour to 7:30 and put personnel on Thursdays if that's better for their chairperson, whichever works.
As an extended,
Like if, so you go, Thursdays, you'd say budget and personnel at 6 to 7:30, as needed, and then ordinance would be at 7:30 if there's personnel. Do you know what I mean? So push it back half an hour when there's personnel.
we will be combining two committees per day.
Well, you were
both
gonna do
cases?
that with budget and finance and personnel on one day anyway.
Okay, so let's see, if we do personnel and housing
Monday.
on Monday. Monday, personnel and housing,
You could do that.
okay?
So
The other part is-
housing will be 7:30?
Think of it this way, the full council typically meets on a Tuesday, that's when we have our
Yes,
fresh new
yes,
agenda.
exactly.
So the next day, Wednesday, would be budget and finance.
Exactly, budget and finance, and that's it. And then
Well, then-
ordinance on Thursday.
Or, well, I'm saying if you put personnel on Thursday.
No,
Oh, okay,
let's leave it on Monday.
okay.
Housing Monday, and then we could, if you guys wanted to, that way the Thursday and Friday would be available. You guys can do Wednesday budget and finance and ordinance.
Yeah, well,
Well, those
Thursday,
are two long ones too. You never know if budget and finance will carry into.
Yeah, they're two long ones, yeah. It's better to,
that's
it's,
fine.
Or
then
maybe
put
you
housing-
guys can have them on Wednesday, and if there's stuff, like a lot of, agenda items, then you guys can do Thursday, split up, Wednesday.
I'll keep ordinance on Thursday, that works, and my only thought was if it helped, because it gives personnel time, like you'd get your new nominees, you'd have a chance to look at them.
but if we do a Wednesday, we have plenty of time anyway.
Okay, so whatever day works for you guys then, yeah, I'll just,
If we do budget on Wednesday, we have plenty of time.
okay.
Okay, so I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure, I'm not
what's
sure
the
what that,
Housing's gonna stay on Mondays.
on Mondays.
But not, if there's anything that we feel we want extra time, we don't have to send it for the next night. We'll send it
Right,
for
we
next
would, we
week's.
would, right, and that would be the hope. We'll talk to the administration, let them know that that's the plan. So they should plan accordingly when they sit stuff down to us, knowing that there's gonna be a little more of a buffer. And I think if they know that going in, they'll be better prepared.
So, point of clarification, so my sense is, let's say that on a Monday, we come in and we have some people appointed on personnel, they would have to come in the next day, Tuesday, for their final appointment? No, it would be the following Tuesday?
The following.
It's up to you as the chair, if you wanna send them right up, or if you
Well,
want.
if we have enough time, why not? Yeah.
If something's straightforward, there's not a lot of questions. Hypothetically, let's say it's a new police chief. You might want more time, you might wanna sit on it, you might wanna have a meeting in between, you might wanna, but if it's just nominees to boards where the people are clearly qualified and there's no
The
questions.
appointments and stuff like
Yeah.
that, we could just get them done.
So it's kind of at your discretion as the chairperson, whichever.
And in some instances, we might even be able to conduct the following, the next day, the Tuesday, we might be able to conduct other businesses for housing if they're not.
If it's straightforward and we're comfortable.
Yeah, if that's straightforward, we could do that, so.
Yes, we got some discretion. My only, just in the big picture, my only concern is stacking the deck the night on the Monday.
Oh, yes.
On
Oh,
anything,
yes.
whether, I don't care what the issue is, and having a vote the next night. There needs, one of the things that I learned on the council, we need sometimes a chance for letting things breathe a little bit.
Right,
Because then it gets out into the community, and then we hear back, and then we want to be able to respond, because it starts to germinate a little bit. We need to give that breath.
How about-
Like you said, we have the flexibility
Yeah.
to always move it to the following week anyway, so.
Right, just remembering that there's 48-hour notice
Yes.
to the public.
How about, I know that we already discussed this and we already like planned all these days. How about if we did the full council on that Tuesday, nothing else happens that week, and then all the committees happen the next week? Gives everybody enough time to say when we see
We
the
will still
agenda.
be meeting, we will still be meeting all 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it'd only be one Tuesday, on that week, it'd only be one day,
No,
that Tuesday.
yeah, we will have to run every other week, so it will still be we will be running meetings every week.
I know, but on that Tuesday, it would just be one, the full council. Because when we get all agenda items on that, usually Wednesday and Thursday, I'll start, usually housing, I gotta drive around and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And
The problem is that it will kill the idea of having a week off so that you can do your own things in your community.
I don't know. It was just thought.
Yeah.
It was just a thought. I mean, it would only just be that one meeting.
Well,
And the rest of the week will be open for people to do whatever it is. Monday will be open, Wednesday will be open, Thursday, Friday will be open. And then the next week, 2 days will be open because we'll do like, or depending on how many days, if you wanted to stack budget and finance and ordinance, then it'll have 3 days available. That way we could do Monday the following week, housing and personnel. and then Tuesday there'll be nothing.
Sorry.
And then Wednesday could be budget and finance, and they can stack ordinance, or that Thursday, and then that Friday will be available, and then the following week would just be that council meeting that'll give everybody time before and after to request anything, to go visit people's offices, because I know I do that during the day, and it would be like a hassle to stack everything in 1 week. It would drive me nuts.
Well, let's see, we have plenty of time
Yeah.
to discuss it at the next city council level, but at least we have brought in some ideas here.
Of course.
Even though this is, actually, it has become an
It's a-
informal discussion rather,
yeah.
but it's good, it's good. I think that these meetings like this initially are important, and then we can,
Mr. Chair?
You met him.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we had to do this anyway. I mean, do the change, I mean, it seems to have been working all these years. And I'm one that rather do things in a just spread out kind of way, because I don't want to get all bogged down and stressed out about, dealing with all these issues on 1 week, and I have to teach early in the morning, and, and I need my, my sanity when I do that, so.
that's true, that's true. They are.
But, so I'm wondering, how important is this?
Well,
I mean,
the idea behind this, when other city councilors approached me, was to give the councilors a week of time where they could do outreach in their community. That's the main intention, okay? Obviously, if it's going to create too much stress,
It's not gonna
on that, then it's not worth it. So it is something that we should consider, and whether it's gonna be worthwhile or not, But again, I think that probably at the next city council meeting, we can discuss that again, and then decide to either let it die or make a decision.
I just seen that every other time I've been able to do the outreach that I need to do.
Okay?
I mean, it wasn't a problem for me. I don't see, I guess maybe it depends on what committee you're on, huh?
I guess it all depends on individual councilors to see what they would like to do, so. But anyway, I think we will come to either an understanding or simply say, no, this is not worth it, let's leave it the way it is, so.
Okay. I'm glad we could solve this problem during the housing committee meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved? Oh, anybody else? Comments,
Just one thing.
questions?
Oh, sorry.
May
Yes.
I ask to take something out
Sure, Council President.
of table?
Sure. What would you
Okay,
like?
I make a motion that we move what document? What document you want?
Oh, a document,
Is this mine?
288A10.
28810 out of
A or B?
table items.
Both, 288A10 and 288B10.
Motion to take off the document number 288B has been made by
Oh, yeah, no,
Councilor
just 288A10.
A by Councilor Alvarez and seconded by Councilor Almonte. All in favor, say aye. The ayes have it. Councilor Maldonado, Council President, you have the floor.
Thank you.
Yes.
There is a document here that we received way back a couple of years ago that is titled Taking Back Lawrence. This was a document that was prepared by MIT. And I don't know how many, were you able to keep your copy or you?
I have electronically.
That's my copy.
Okay, that's your copy?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saved it.
Okay, then I
need a
think,
copy.
I think we need to make copies of this to provide each of the committee members, because this is a very, comes in line with what Mark and I have discussed in terms of doing some work with the alley. And I was thinking, in reality, it's gonna be a gigantic task. Gigantic task. We're gonna need an attorney that is going to draw up the land description that are gonna be assigned to each property. We're gonna need a surveyor that is going to survey the properties. We're gonna need somebody that is going to identify each property and how each piece of land is going to be attached to those properties, and then how we can, and then the attorney that is going to work on
Flannery.
on assigning that piece of property, that piece of land to that particular property. And then we may need the planning department to develop strategies for each block by block by block, because not every strategy is going to work for one
Right.
or the other. But this is going to be a very interesting project if we can get it off the ground and we can accomplish this. It's a long range, but I think if we tackle it, I think we're
can
going to be
start.
able to solve finally the problem of the alleyways. We should be able to do it without, hopefully, cost to the city, but instead benefits. Benefits in terms of additional taxes, and also benefit in terms of not having to bother cleaning up those alleyways, which will become property of the abutters. So what I would like to do, for the benefit of the committee, is probably outline a list of things that I think will be necessary to accomplish, that we're gonna, the type of people that we need to help us work this out through, and hopefully the committee from there can take it.
What I would recommend, I think, for Council President, I think you're absolutely right. What I would recommend as an action item for each one of the committee's members is by our next meeting, target one alleyway, one block.
Yes.
Each one of us brings one block to the table. That way, we're not gonna be able to do the entire city in a 2 year, but if we work systematically, and one of the benefits from us being on this committee, we can find one. There's probably many that are worthy of being mentioned. There's more supply than there is the demand. But if we bring one, let's work on one, and then once we get done with each one of our ones, we can move to the next one, whatever block that is. So does that sound like a reasonable, at least start off slowly and start building out a little bit?
Go ahead.
Point of information, we have more alleyways in some districts than we do in others, so therefore,
yes.
we're gonna have more activity, like mid-town or in mid-south area. Closest to the river, I'm thinking, it's where they would be, because in Prospect Hill,
Yeah, this identifies.
I've got maybe a couple that I can think of off the top of my head, which have been turned into one-way little streets, and the abutting well, those alleyways they've been bought, and single-family homes have been built on there. Basically, in District A, it's different.
Okay.
But there are other districts, like District B and C would be greatly affected. I believe Bailey Street area, there is behind Bailey Street in the Shawshene area, and those we have a lot. They go from Union down this area all the way down to the Broadway area, so, yes.
Okay, yes, Counselor.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I have been trying to work on this for a long time, which is when I found out that the Exxon, had given us these alleyways. And truth be told, we never accepted this gift,
That's
but we're stuck with it. And I'm thinking, in terms of budget and finance, they may want to get back to them and see if we could get some money for it, having to take care of these alleyways when we didn't accept them. That's one. But more importantly is the issue of making sure that whatever alleyway we select is consistent with public safety saying we don't need it to get through. Because there are some that are helpful, and there are others that aren't. For example, on Broadway, behind the Broadway stores, there has been 2 murders in there. And I remember that's since
Over
the
by
first
Common?
one that occurred, and the families called me all the time about the kind of, criminal activity that was taking place there. and their youngsters not being able to look out the window because they were seeing people with the paraphernalia, doing their drugging and also the prostitution, so.
That gets me thinking, I know this is a little off, but the train tracks also that are behind West Street area. All of that situation there and on Manchester Street and,
They are way a lot. They are all identified in this report.
okay.
So when you get a copy of this report, thanks to a link that, that she was able to save it, when you get this report, you're gonna see specifically that MIT did the work for us. They identified every alleyway. Now, obviously, we need to go way beyond that. We need to identify all the abutters and then get whichever department in the city can help us with to design individual strategies. Mark, when you mentioned that we should select one, maybe we should revisit that Kingston and Salem Street group.
I'm going to rely on the counselor who represents that area's guidance on that.
I know that.
I just want to say, I'm not prepared to go through this issue tonight. I
Yes,
apologize.
yes. No,
I
no,
came here
definitely,
with, just
definitely
thought we
not.
were electing a chairperson. But I do think I'm glad that you're back, because I know that you're always a driving force, and it is a big issue in my district, and I would like to get them resolved. And I think some solutions are more appropriate in some locations than others, and I think it's good to recognize that as well. But yeah, I'd like us all maybe to identify one that we want to work on, and all to read the report between now and our next meeting, and
And what I will do as well, to Council President, if it's okay, I think I have that electronically, and what I will do, and I think I do, I will forward that to you, then you can
Good,
disseminate it
excellent. Yeah, if you
to the membership.
You forward it to the members.
I'll still forward it to you, and if you want
Sure.
to, okay.
Then I will,
However you
I
wanna
will
do
send
it.
it over to the rest.
Okay. All right, well, that's good. So we have an action item for the next one. Council President has already provided a bogey for us, a challenge for us immediately, right out of the chute, and I think it's great. So hearing no other discussion, let's table this, the motion to table.
Table.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. The ayes have it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. The ayes have it. Thank you.